Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide mediation and valuation services based in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we will discuss M&A sports franchise valuations with Edwin Draughan. Edwin is a sports franchise valuation expert based in Los Angeles, California, and has been a member of Park Lane since 2017. Park Lane is a boutique sports-focused investment bank founded in 2005. Edwin's primary responsibility at Park Lane is to lead the firm's efforts with sports franchise valuations and due diligence, which also includes the client relations, market awareness, deal sourcing, and execution. He also plays an integral role in the firm's sports franchise M&A advisory, early stage capital raising, and traditional real estate divisions. Now, sports teams, let's talk a little bit about this, because I think a lot of our audience may understand traditional valuation, valuing a business kind of thing. But sports teams are a little different. And when it comes to businesses, like, how are they different than your normal business from a valuation standpoint?
Yeah, what I would say is typical businesses, you're valuing it based on future cash flows. With sports teams, it's a little different in that sports teams are a closed ecosystem, and a lot of the value is derived from supply demand economics. Since there's only X amount of sports teams available, majority of the value comes from just the increased demand. And it's also fortunate that there's that a lot of the drivers in sports are pretty consistent across the sports league. So one of the main drivers in sports values are the media rights, which at least historically has consistently just kind of gone up in value. I think one of the unique kind of differences when valuing sports teams relative to other businesses is, in sports business, in regular businesses, you kind of do DCFs and you project out and you discount back. With sports teams, given the fact that a majority of sports teams often run at either zero profit or even at a deficit for tax purposes, a lot of the value is derived at the revenue level. So you look at revenue, you look at present transactions, and then you compare and contrast and adjust based off of other factors like market and the growth of the league and other external factors. So it's definitely a different and unique asset to value. And you definitely need to have a specific skill set and experience when looking at sports teams.
Well, and it's interesting because I think I follow more marketing than sports news, but I know, and you probably heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. He has
Gary
always
V.
wanted to buy like the Jets, maybe, or something like that. Okay. So are there just a ton of buyers out there at all times for certain sports teams, and you're just figuring out when they would transition? Or because part of it seems like people get really passionate about their teams, right?
Yeah, I think in general, if you've accumulated a certain amount of wealth, that's the ultimate trophy asset is a sports team. Very few sports team owners made their wealth with sports teams. They made it elsewhere. And then with that wealth, they would like to acquire a sports team. But the interesting thing about the ecosystem is that these teams only come on the market ever so often. So when there is one on the market, everybody that was looking to get into sports team ownership is often kind of going towards it, which ultimately drives up the prices. And this is why it's a very valuable asset to have and a very unique asset to have and very differentiated in the way it's valued.